It's for somebody special. Yeah.
Oh, hello, welcome, or welcome back to Nails by Sora. I hope you are doing well. If you see a lot of shadows right now, that's because my ring light is having issues. I don't know if it's the ring light itself or the adapter. The company, I use the canvas lamp. They're sending me a new adapter. So I don't know if this is going to stay on. If it gets dark all of a sudden, you'll know why. But someone on the channel asked if I could do something with watercolors. So I thought I would give it a go. Now, water, if you're familiar with doing anything with gel manicures or acrylics or dip powder, water should not be anywhere near the nail because then you're going to have problems with trapping water on the nail and causing greenies and having a whole host of problems. But I do want to try it. I also want to see if I could use this watercolor set with alcohol or acetone, see if it would work, which is a brilliant idea I just had, but I'm sure somebody else has already come up with it. I got this watercolor on a watercolor set on Amazon. I will link it down below, but I thought it was very, very cute. Comes with a set of brushes and water pens. And the water pen is just what it sounds like. It holds water in here and it's got the brush on the other end and you just squeeze it and you pump water through it, and that way you can do watercolors on the go. Now, I already have several of these because I have played around with watercolor in the past just in general. But it also comes with these two brushes. So I'm gonna play with the smaller one to start out with. Don't need the water pens for today. I have a little bit of water here, and then I have my alcohol and acetone off to the side. But this opens up, and it's a double set of watercolors. So you've got some metallics over here, you've got some standard colors on the right, and then you've got some pastels back at the top. So I'm gonna play around a little bit, maybe do some marbling. I do want to play around with doing some flower designs because that's something that I've really wanted to try to get a handle on. But we're gonna see what we can come up with. So first I want to get these, a base coat on these and get them cured. I'm going to matte top coat them all, and then I will be back to start the video proper. Okay, so we're all set. I have a different ring light set up. I actually have the canvas lamp right here not turned on because I need something to hold the phone, what I'm using for my camera. And then I've got the ring light above that. So again, if you see weird shadows, that's why, and I apologize. But let's see. Let's go in with some watercolors. I'm going to dab off as much water as possible. And I'm just going to draw some lines. And then I'm going to, I wet my brush again and dabbed it off, and now I'm just going to bleed those lines out. If you want to use actual watercolors and water to do your nail art, I would suggest doing it on press-ons. That way, you give them ample time to dry, the water evaporates, and then you can top coat on it, over it rather, and then you won't have an issue with water evaporation. So I'm just going in and doing random lines, kind of letting it do what it wants to. Lifting the brush up to create really light lines, pressing it down to thicken the lines. The thing with watercolor is you really want to just let it do its thing. It's supposed to bleed out. It's supposed to be a little bit blurry and abstract. You can get really delicate fine lines with it, and this really nice blurred kind of, you know, ethereal look to it. I'm gonna switch up colors. Let's bring in some purple. Let's see. I want to bring in some black. Do I have black? Yes, I have black. If I didn't have black, I would be surprised. So I want to do really fine accent lines with the black. I'm really trying not to have any water pool on the surface. All right, I got interrupted by the phone, so I don't know if this will work at this point because it's set. All right, now I can still bleed it. So going back in with a little bit of water just to fade it out and create some shadowing. And then we also have white, so let's see what we can do with that. The white you can't really see all too well. But maybe some gold or copper, which we have in the metallics.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha.
I think this may be heading off into the too far, gone too far zone. So I'm going to back off and take up some of this copper. Maybe go back in with a little bit of that blue that I used to start off with just to brighten it again. And then I'm going to set this aside and we're going to let it dry. So that's our first nail. Our second nail, instead of using the water, I'm gonna see if acetone works. Because acetone is usually what you use for alcohol inks. And these are just pigments like anything else, so I have to imagine it would work with acetone. So let's see, what color do we want? Do we want to do some flowers? Let's do some flowers.
Special, I can't wait it out tonight. Yeah, can't believe it's so. Yeah, 20 nights been so. But don't lose.
I will say that it doesn't seem to pick up the pigment as well.
Wait for me, girl. Yeah, 'cause now you there cross my mind. Would you wait for me, girl? I know, ain't no distance, ain't no time to get me back to you. Coach, yeah, give me coach, yeah, give me coach, yeah, to get me back to you.
I'm not going to try to explain how to make the flowers because I do not know what I'm doing. I'm basically just trying to replicate a lotus, and I don't think I'm doing that good of a job.
You be my weakness, my no be boss. See Oluwa don't bless me. Not true, no be ghost right. If they say I didn't listen, babe, you're the one that I'm missing, girl. And my darling, would you wait for me, girl? Yeah, cause now you did cross my mind. Would you
I was going to draw a stem on it, but I don't know if lotuses have stems. So I'm just going to kind of do some leaves. Or maybe it's going to be water. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I do kind of want to do a impressionist series. Monet's Water Lilies, Van Gogh's Starry Night. I don't like this. We're going to chuck it. I'm going to go back to the marbling. And I will say definitely that the water works best. The watercolor pigments aren't really soluble in, sorry, went down the rabbit hole, in acetone or alcohol. But what you can use are alcohol inks. So if you forgive me, we're going to put away the watercolor pigments for now. And we're going to switch to alcohol inks, and I will show you how to use those. Oh, this did come with also a palette so that you can go and swatch your watercolor pigments. So, I mean, you can see them in the palette. I don't know why you would need to swatch them. But you can if you want to. Okay, so got some efile, and I've got some Magpie Beauty, which also has a white. And I've got some Marble Queen. Actually, let me take the black. That's not black, that's green. I seem to have lost my black, so we will do without it. Oh, I know where my black is. My black is at work. Why do I do that to myself? Okay, so moving on to our third nail. We are going to shake these up because with the fiote, it has white mixed in with it to make it more of a pastel. So we're going to shake that up. Well, that's interesting. That is really weird. I don't know what that is. Is that the brush? Yes, that is the brush. I don't, okay. And that has evaporated. All right, so brands not to buy for me. What happened to, why did I put that back? Marble Queen seems to be our faithful standby. Okay, so you'll want to use acetone as your disbursement liquid, not alcohol. The colors are suspended in alcohol, but they are dispersed with acetone. So I'm going to take some on the brush and just move it on down. You can kind of just do whatever you want. You can cover the whole nail if you want. And you must be saying, what are you doing? I will show you in a moment. Let me just clean up a little spill. So, because it's acetone, acetone removes pigment. So you can literally go in with the acetone and remove pigment however you want. Now you're never going to get it back to perfect white because it does still stain to a certain degree. But you can really go in and play around with lines and fade them out and redirect them. And really just have fun, because that's what this is all about. Vento leve, love logo já. Vento leve, love logo já. Que vento leve, love logo já. Que leve, love já. All right, let's see what happens when we layer in another color. So I'm going to go in with this lighter purple. Now what you want to be careful with is if there's a pattern that you really, really like and you don't want to disturb, you'll want to do another matte top coat so that you seal that in and then layer on top of it. If you keep going in with more and more color and moving it around, you might wind up with a muddied effect that isn't really pleasing. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to take my matte top coat. That would be base coat, not matte. Now you always want to use matte. If you use a glossy coat, the pigment's just going to sit on top. It's not going to sink in. And then when you go and top coat over it, it's going to bleed. Just make sure you do thin layers so that you're not building up too much bulk. Go ahead and cure that and we will come back to do the next color. All right, moving on to the next color. I think I want to move away from the purple and go in with our pink, which I will have to dip in with my regular brush. So just going to dip it into the well. And do the same thing that I did before.
See Oluwa don't bless me. Na true no be ghost ride. If they say I dey listen, babe, you're the one that I'm missing, girl. And my darling, would you wait for me, girl? you there cross my mind. Would you wait for me, girl? I know, ain't no distance, ain't no time to get me back to you. Coach, coach, nah, coach, yeah, get me back to you. Oh, nah, coach, coach, yeah, to get me back to you.
I'm not really digging how that pink is looking. Let's see if we can take any of it off. I'm just using some acetone and a wipe. I have to say, in terms of brands, Marble Queen is by Don Nails is relatively new on the market. I think it's only been out for about 2 years, but they are definitely #1 in terms of alcohol inks, in my opinion. Granted, I don't use them all that much, but from the few times that I have used them, they're far superior. All right, so that's it for the alcohol inks on this nail. I do want to lighten it a bit in terms of mood. So I'm going to move to gel paints and just do some veining with the white. Maybe gold too. So I'm gonna grab my white from Glam and my gold from Glam and my liner brush. All right, so these are our 2 marbled nails. I took the opportunity to top coat the watercolored one as well. I would give it at least 24 hours before you do it on nails that you're going to wear. And like I said, I would definitely do it on press-ons and not on your natural nail, or rather directly on your enhancements, because while you're doing it on an enhancement, you won't necessarily have an issue of Pseudomonas or mold or growing because of water on the nail plate trapped underneath the enhancement. What you will most likely find is that because the water is trapped underneath a layer of gel, the gel is going to peel after a while. And if you want longevity from your manicure, you don't want your top coat to peel off. So do it on tips, give it ample time to dry out, and then you shouldn't have a problem. I do actually like the way this turned out a lot better than the alcohol inks. I think I just went a little bit too far with it, but that's no matter. Great learning experience and exercise in less is more, definitely. And but that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Please hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below. If you would like me to go more in depth with either watercolors or alcohol inks in nail art, please let me know. And the information for the products that I use will be in the description box below. So thank you for your requests for watercolor nail tutorial. And if you have any more comments or suggestions for upcoming content, please let me know and you may see a video on it. But for now, that's going to do it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Fosse acontecer e numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar e o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou.